Hello, boys, girls, and those who sexually identify as a half-eaten Go-Gurt tube. I'm Mr. Dapperton, and today we're watching a TJ Kirk video. Now, let me be clear. I'm pretty sure TJ Kirk hates me, but I don't hate him, okay? I just don't agree with them on politics. That's it. Like, I agree with them on pretty much everything else. But politics, we're kind of, yeah, we don't see eye to eye. So let's watch the video together and see what I have to say. Snoochie Boochies.
Is that the lyrics he's talking about, the lyrics that flowed so freely from the music and just express his feelings of pride, they're dog shit. Dog shit lyrics. Let's take a listen. Take a listen to some of these fucking lyrics, quote unquote. If tomorrow all the things were gone I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife, thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom and they can't take that away. Oh, shit. Are you fucking kidding me with that horse shit? With that fucking drivel? Stupid premise. The guy who's singing is obviously a fucking idiot.
Yeah, the person who was singing is an idiot. I'm just joking. I get what you're saying. Now, I agree that this song is a piece of shit, but everything we've heard so far isn't that bad. I don't know why you're already offended by it. But let me let you explain it.
So let me get this straight. All your shit's gone. All you got left is just your family. And the country that you're the most glad to live in under those circumstances is America. Because personally, I'd pick a country with universal fucking health care, you know? So that if one of my kids gets sick, I can afford treatment for them because it's fucking free, footed by tax dollars. Yeah, I guess that's not free, but if you're broke, you ain't paying those taxes.
Yeah, so you admit yourself it's not free. Somebody pays for it. The state is taking people's money by force, right? They're basically pointing a gun at somebody, kidnapping them, extorting them like a freaking criminal or a freaking pirate. And if they're not doing that, you know, they're throwing them in a rape cage where someone's likely to get raped. Point is, you're creating a victim, TJ. It's not free if someone's getting robbed to pay for it, right? By the way, the healthcare crisis didn't occur until Medicare and Medicaid were invented. Because when you artificially stimulate demand, there's no reason to lower prices. It makes healthcare more expensive and unaffordable. You are making healthcare worse, TJ, not better. Also, you are not entitled to the product of other people's labor. That's called slavery. More people would have health care if you would stop getting government involved and letting rulers rule the marketplace. This is what happens. The politician and government say, hey, give me money and I'll create any laws you want, corporations. Then the corporations lobby the government and give them money, and then the fucking government starts enforcing the laws that the fucking goddamn corporations are creating. Healthcare fucking obviously skyrockets because you're letting the goddamn corporations write the goddamn laws and take advantage of you, the consumer, at every single turn. This wouldn't happen under real capitalism, under a real free market. Free, meaning free from government. That shit would have happened because there's no goddamn government to buy, right? There are no rulers to buy. The reason why we have inequality is because you like government. It's because you keep creating government, more and more government, which creates more and more rulers in the marketplace, which create inequality. Left-wingers sit there and say, oh, the rich have too much money. I'm worried about this. Yeah, that's because of you, numbskull. It's because you keep creating goddamn government, which allows the goddamn corporations to write the fucking laws and take advantage of the consumer. That means massive wealth and income inequality. Oh, I hate inequality. You're the cause of it. You are the cause of it. Ironically, the people you oppose are actually trying to fix the problem, but you're just too brain dead to see the fucking actual issues. If the government is selling every ounce of its power to the corporations and allowing the corporations to have all that power, why would you increase the government's power? It just makes no fucking sense to me. We need a free market, meaning free from government, meaning free from rulers. If you have government, you're literally splitting up society into two fucking groups. The ruled and the rulers. Yeah, that's why we have income inequality. Okay, there's one point I'm trying to make throughout this video, and that point is your solution to the problem, more government, is the problem with society. So we talked about healthcare a little bit. Now I know what you're thinking. But the poor, without government, who will take care of them? Here's what government does with your tax dollars, okay? I just need you to know this. They wasted $1.5 trillion on one single fighter jet. I shit you not. One single fighter jet. And it doesn't even work. Even the Pentagon admits that it doesn't work. Its visibility is too low for a fighter. It has high aft visibility, meaning an enemy can easily shoot it down from behind. It can be easily outmaneuvered by obsolete Russian and Chinese aircraft. It's not good for surface combat. It's far from invisible to enemy radar. On and on and on and on. All of the military has acknowledged, of course, by the time they get around to admitting it, government had already committed to buying the thing. Not only that, but the Pentagon misplaced and lost $6.5 trillion. It just vanished. The money went somewhere, but no one can say where. Whoopsies! Those two mistakes alone, and trust me, there are billions of other ones I could bring up, but just using those two examples alone, by themselves, they could have bought every homeless person in America, which is roughly 500,000 people. They could have bought them all a $16 million home. Yes, that's right. Every homeless person in the United States would get a $16 million home just by erasing 2 of the billion mistakes that they make. People say, we need government to help the poor. The reason we have poor is because of government. Now, let's talk about another way that the government rips you off. They rip you off with taxes. Right off the bat, when you make money, they take it in income tax. So already you can buy about 30% less than you could if you'd been allowed to keep your entire paycheck. But it's not just that. Most places in the US have sales taxes, so that's probably another 5% or more. But that's just barely starting. There's estate tax, gift tax, bequest tax, expatriate tax, employment insurance tax, railroad retirement tax, employee tax, unemployment tax, railroad unemployment repayment tax, manufacturer excise tax, retail excise tax, facilities and services tax, foreign insurer tax, gambling tax, harbor maintenance tax, water transportation tax, commercial vehicle tax, petroleum tax, environmental chemical tax, ozone depleting chemicals tax, imported substance tax, occupational tax, telephone excise tax, capital gains tax, real estate investment tax, undistributed income from investment tax, golden parachute tax, group health plan tax, alcohol taxes, tobacco and tobacco products tax, machine guns, destructive devices and certain other firearms tax, tax on generation skipping transfers, green mail tax, structured settlement tax, self-employment tax, non-petroleum energy tax, and of course, the Spanish-American War tax. Yes, we're still paying the tax on a war that's been over for more than a century. And these are just federal taxes. Just the federal ones. But it's not just taxes, it's regulations too that freak you in the paycheck. Businesses in this country are so overregulated that they pay more money just complying with these regulations than they actually pay in taxes. And the problem's just getting worse. Take a look at this. This, my friends, is a typical page from the Federal Register. That's where the federal government publishes all the new regulations that go into effect just on that day. And it's published every business day. Look how small that print is. These things have almost 1,000 words per page. And typically each day, publication has 200 to 300 pages. So every day, that's 200,000 words of new regulations or more. Average adult reading speed in the US is 200 words per minute. So it would take the average adult over 16 hours just to read the new regulations that went into effect just that day. And they would have to do it all over again the next day, and then the next, and then the next. So how can anyone even know what all the regulations are? But Mr. Dapperton, not all those regulations apply to everyone. That's true, but how do you know which regulations apply to you unless you read them? And again, this isn't even counting state and local regulations. We're overregulated, and it's a major cost of doing business in the U.S. Competition is stifled, which increases prices. Onerous taxes increases prices. And regulations increases prices. Put it all together, and these things easily make up 90% of the cost everything we buy. And you want to know what will happen to the poor in an anarcho-capitalist society. You tell me how many people would even be poor if their paychecks went 10 times as far as they do now. When someone's making $10,000 a year has the purchasing power of someone currently making $100,000 a year. That's the power of deregulation.
Some person who actually has money is footing the bill. You know, maybe that person who has to pay the money is resentful, but if you're the one in the position of being a broke motherfucker with kids to feed and a wife and shit, but you ain't have no resources at your disposal, wouldn't you, in that case, at least want to be living in the socialist country?
Everybody could afford health care if it wasn't for the government. Government is the reason why health care is unaffordable. There used to be a pill that was $3, okay? When it was in the free market, everybody sold it for $3, but then suddenly the government granted a patent. Now suddenly only the company with the patent can sell it, and everyone else had to stop selling it because the government will muscle out the competition and do all that crap, right? They're rigging the market in exchange for money. Now he raised it from being $3 on the market to be $730. Look, people needed this pill to survive. People obviously blamed capitalism, but under capitalism, there are no patents, and someone could enter the marketplace and sell that pill for $3 still, and the guy who increased the price would have to sell the pill for $3 again. Or actually under, right? If somebody sells it for $3, he would have to sell it for $2. If he doesn't, he would go out of business. See, capitalism and the free market would have kept him honest. It would have kept the pill at $3. But because he had government on his side, he was able to charge $730 and price gouge everybody that was dying. By the way, insurance companies had to pay these pill prices, and people's insurance premiums skyrocketed. You guys freaking wonder why health insurance is so damn expensive. It's because you allow government to create monopolies in the marketplace in exchange for money. I'll tell you what the solution is. Make the free market free again. Free from rulers. Rulers are the problem. But your solution sucks. Your solution's like, you got a pizza, and it's like cut into 4 slices, and you're like, cut it into 8. I'm really hungry today. That's not how it works.
Where you can take your kid to get some fucking doctoring, whether you have money to do it or not.
Yeah, getting super strong Alex Jones vibes here. Super strong ones.
I think I'd prefer that. Maybe that's just me. I'm a fucking communist. What can I say?
It's okay, TJ. You know what? I know you like free stuff. Would you like a free helicopter ride?
Can you? There's states where you can't even feed homeless people. Where you can't, you know, if you feed a homeless person, you go to jail. There's plenty of places where you can't even drink alcohol in public. You can't even have a beer. Okay? Well, I'm not even talking about getting fucked up and wasted on the fucking street. I'm talking about you can't have a fucking, 4.6% alcohol by volume beer on the street without some fucking cop harassing you.
Let me help you out, buddy. In some states, it's illegal to collect rainwater. In some states, it's illegal to have oral sex. In some states, it's illegal to have anal sex. In some states, it's illegal to flirt. To flirt! In some states, it's illegal to sleep naked. But you're free, right? No, you're not. You're not free because we have a bunch of TJs in this country, or amazing atheists, who believe that the majority should rule. If your freedoms end where someone else's feelings start to begin, you're not free. If things that are literally just not popular get banned, then you're not free. You should be able to do whatever you want as long as there's no victim. If there's no victim, there's no crime. But TJ doesn't feel that way because he loves fucking government. He likes to create rulers in the marketplace and create rulers in general. He wants more government. Well, let me tell you something, TJ. 86% of people that are in prison are in there for victimless crimes. Like I said, stupid shit like collecting rainwater, having anal sex, or sleeping naked, or flirting. Stupid shit. Smoking a fucking harmless leaf. Prostitution. Shit that shouldn't be illegal. And stop acting like you're not the one who's directly responsible, because you are. You're one of the few that want massive government. A government that's large enough to fucking give you everything you possibly want, TJ, is big enough to take everything away.
You have the right to do whatever drug you want, even if you're doing it in the privacy of your own home. You have the right to take a bunch of LSD and sit in your house and go, whoa. No! They'll arrest you for that. Yes, they will, ladies and gentlemen. That's not harming anyone. That's not even harming yourself. That's just tripping balls and seeing some weird, crazy shit.
Yeah, you're responsible for that. You're the reason we can't have nice things. It's because you insist on having rulers. The only rules should be natural law and the non-aggression principle. Do what you will, as long as it doesn't hurt another. You could harm yourself. If you want to get stupid tattoos, stupid piercings, ruin your body with drugs, go ahead. Just don't hurt another person. That's the way it should be. 86% of the space in prisons shouldn't be taken up by people who are committing victimless crimes. Literally, like 90% of people that are in prison shouldn't be in there.
More fucking, and there's more of that sucking the dick of fucking freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, the freedom cock. The big, mighty, delicious cock of fucking freedom. No one really wants freedom, folks. People want their own freedom. Like to rednecks. Freedom is like, I got the freedom to hunt, and I got the freedom to fish, and I got the freedom to fucking drink my beer and fucking hate queers and whatever. I got my guns. Most important right is the right to bear arms, man, because you know what if the government rise up against us? That's their vision of fucking freedom. And when it comes to the hippie vision of freedom, which is fucking, I'm gonna smoke pot and I'm gonna do LSD and I'm not gonna take a bath and I'm gonna have sex with everybody and I'm gonna fucking do, you know, I don't need a job, man. I ain't gonna be held down by the system. Those two groups of people look at each other like with total contempt and hatred because they have different ideas of freedom.
Exactly, and they're both right. They both should have the freedoms to do whatever they want as long as they don't harm another person. But people like you are the problem. You guys want democracy. You guys want the majority to rule. So everybody's outstripping each other's rights and nobody gets what they want. Again, the only fucking rules should be the non-aggression principle and natural rights. You should be able to do whatever you want as long as you don't harm another person. This way, the left-wingers get what they want. The right-wingers get what they want. Hooray! Everybody's happy. Today, we do a thing where we're in a competition to see who could strip away the most rights away from the other person. The right wants to strip away the rights of the left. The left wants to strip away the rights of the right. And they're in a competition with each other. That's fucking bullshit. Both sides should get what they want as long as they don't hurt another person. Period.
Yeah, I know people don't like it when you actually point out America's culpability, but it's fucking true. The reason that the Middle East keeps fucking with us is because we keep fucking with them. And the reason we keep fucking with them is because we want their oil, we want their fucking resources. And yeah, does that mean their religion isn't crazy? No, it is crazy. That's why we shouldn't be there. That's why we shouldn't be fucking with those retards.
But what do, TJ? You give the government more power, you let the corporations write even more laws, and control the government even more, and make the government basically go to war. We go to war because of the corporations. And the reason why the corporations control things is because of government. All government is rulers, okay? It's not a thing that solves problems. It's a thing that creates them. Capitalism and free markets remove the rulers, so people from government can't rule us, and so people from the corporations cannot rule us. You get rid of government, and you get rid of war. At least the majority of it, right? War should only happen in self-defense. As you said, that's one of the reasons why we need to privatize everything. I did a video where I did the math, and privatizing police makes it 8 times more affordable. You get 8 times more men for the same amount of money as you do with public police. And I found the same thing with the military. You'd get a lot more bang for your buck, and these people can't just, violate your rights. They can only act in other people's self-defense or their own self-defense. So, for example, the private police can't break into your house over you smoking a leaf. They can only break into your house if you're, hurting a child and breaking the non-aggression principle. Also, this applies to the private military. You know that shit today where the government has been at war for 222 years out of 239? That shit will go away. They can only act in self-defense, so that means most war will go away. That means you get to keep your tax dollars, and they're not going to be spent on droning children.
But the reason we do it is because we want their oil, and we want their minerals, and we want any wealth that their countries could possibly generate.
And you allow them to do it, because you allow for massive government. Matter of fact, you want more of it. You're the problem, TJ. Anyways, if you guys like my video, be sure to smash that motherfucking like button and motherfucking subscribe. Oh, and one more thing. If you have an erection that lasts more than 4 hours after watching one of my videos, don't worry. That's normal.